Hey everyone, it's Cygnus, and welcome back to Create Astral. So in the last episode, we managed to actually get diamonds and started some slightly more efficient ore processing, but there's a lot more I want to do and a lot more I need to do. So I want to start setting up conveyor belts, which will allow me to automate this process even more and just get this whole thing much more efficient, with it even depositing where I need it to go, without me needing to sit here and wait for it to cook, otherwise it will just melt all of my ore. Also, since the last episode, we're now able to access Hephaestus, which is a pretty big deal overall. So we've done a little bit of tinkering in Hephaestus so far, but really not as much as I would like. And with some of the new steps, and you may have already noticed, I put diamond on the tips of my tools, which makes them functionally diamond, but repairable with copper. It's pretty efficient, but I was able to make seared bricks by cooking all of the grout that we made in the last episode, and with it we can actually make a seared melter and a seared heater. Those two options are going to allow us to make huge strides in the production of tools and utilities. For example, if we manage to make the Tinker's Anvil, we can start making tools that break in a 3x3 area. That's huge, and is going to make clearing out new spaces to build additional buildings in the future a lot easier. To do that, we first have to make the two items. So the first one we need to make is the seared heater. This is the first one because it's the easiest and really no other reason. So that's the seared heater. We can deposit any sort of fuel into that. And the second option is the seared melter, which requires 4 zinc and a fluid tank. I made some copper sheets already, and we just need a barrel, which we have. So let me grab that barrel. There we go. And did I put away the copper sheets? Did I even make the copper sheets? Apparently not. Let's go crush some copper, and we can come back to this in just a second. Okay, so we've crushed enough copper to go ahead and make this item. Not worried about having it all crushed immediately. It will crush in its own time. So that's the fluid tank, and this is very useful as we will need that later. But for now, we're not going to worry about it, and we just need 4 zinc ingots and some seared bricks. Now, seared bricks, as you can see, are made by mixing the seared brick block is made by mixing the seared brick with sap. Now, what is sap? Sap we can either put in rubber logs into a millstone, or we can use a sapper. So a sapper is just a simple little tool we can go ahead and use, and I think it's made like that, but I may be wrong because it's not pulling up. Tree tap, that's what it's called, which needs some sticks. Go ahead and make the stick, there we go. And these are not super efficient, but we are going to use them to just go gather some rubber, and then we'll actually cut down the trees themselves and process those in the millstone. And then we can get the saplings and replant them closer to our house, where we can eventually set up some automation, so we're just endlessly producing tree sap, because, oh boy, we're going to need a lot of it for a long time. Oh, here we go. What are you doing? You were growing inside the dark oak. We'll just tap some of these trees. There we go. Missing any? Doesn't matter. No. Okay. Let's go ahead and cut this down. Hopefully we'll be able to get some saplings from them. Don't know if there's any more efficient way to get saplings. Hello? I'll have to look into that a bit later. But for now, we can just break the trees the old-fashioned way and hope a sapling drops. Because we have to at least separate it from any existing wood. Otherwise, it's not going to want to fall. And I am staring at the sun right now. Probably not good for me. Okay, lucky me, I was able to get at least 2 saplings, and frankly, that's all we're gonna need, but we can definitely wait here a little bit longer and see if any more drop. So, as I was waiting, this little guy showed up. Been looking for sheep, haven't been able to find them. Do you have any friends around here? No? Okay, well, I will come back with shears or some wheat, and I'm gonna get a bunch of sheep into a fence, but I'll need to do that later because I have a lot more stuff to be doing right now that is a lot more important than this is. An interesting little cave. We'll be able to explore that a little bit later. We'll be able to get a air tank and make a scuba kit, but for now, let's just prioritize what we're doing. Now, as a note, I did make some iron armor, so we are much safer than we were before. And now I have the sap, so I just need to make this, I need to mix seared bricks with the sap. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sap, and that should be the recipe to make these, and I need to make 4. 4 times 4 is 12. Okay, let's go ahead and mix these together. There we go, there we go. Those are gonna start mixing, and we can start looking at our next process. Let's actually go ahead and throw in our rubber logs into here and get those milled out so we can get some more saplings out of that. And let's see what we need to do next. So we'll also need to make a seared faucet made of just 3 seared bricks. And getting more seared stuff isn't going to be super difficult, but I do want to try and maybe automate it sooner than later, because it's going to create some issues if I don't. So we need that. I think the last item we need is the seared table, and oh, we are out of seared bricks. But fortunately, with what we are already making, we should be able to produce more of those very, very soon. So let's go ahead and see. We need to make the seared melter, needs 4 zinc. Do I have 4 zinc, or is that another trip into the mines for me? I do not have more zinc. So it looks like we are heading back to the mines. Let's drop some of our things off right here. Drop the copper. It only made 1 rubber. Might have miscounted. Okay, that actually scared the heck out of me, because I was just jumping down the watering hole and got shot by a skeleton, and I was very worried it was going to knock me off course. I probably should be a bit more careful about that, but I feel a little personally attacked by that, like, oh. I'm dumb. Okay, anyways, let's not jump into any more lava. Let's actually just block that up. I'm not going to block it to where it breaks, but am I going to die? No, okay. Alright, so I am already low health. Let's maybe head back up real fast, grab some more food, and do a round 2 of exploring the mines for zinc. Maybe I'll find some on my way back. Probably not, but maybe. Okay, we are back down in the mines. Let's go ahead and find ourselves some zinc, so we can get back up on the surface and do what we need to actually be doing. I'm not seeing any immediate zinc. I don't want to have to actually mine through the walls for it, but I may end up having to. This is not good. Seems like I've already exhausted this little mine of zinc, but I know there's some more space over this way, so we can check over here. Yeah, it looks like it extends. Never mind. It extends into nothing. I was hopeful for no reason. Plenty of tin, which is useful, and I think, oh wait, I do know where it extends a little bit. The mines actually do go a bit farther up that way, but I will have to get past the skeleton first. Eat a little bit of barbecue on a stick, and go handle this skeleton before he gets too excited. There we go. And this sword with a diamond tip is insane. It's incredibly useful. Like, it's taking things out so much faster than before. Okay, so what do we got here? Any zinc? Zinc. I'm zinking that there's not any zinc here. I'm sorry for that joke. No zinc. No zinc. Zinc. No zinc. Well, still no zinc, but the map is saying there's a cave right over here with some lava in it. Oh, here's a cave. Okay. Did a little bit more searching. Oop, you were kind of a bully. There's 2 of you. Come on. Okay. Phew. I actually got a little worried there. I need to stop opening the book. And I didn't bring torches with me. This is a risky endeavor. So we're just going to take this nice and slow. And I'm impatient, so we're not going to actually do that. Got more iron, redstone, zinc! Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay, we found zinc. 3 zinc. We found 3 zinc. Are you kidding me? That... Okay, I'm taking my anger out on you, creeper. Yep, thank you for exploding. Well, that wasn't as productive as I hoped it would be. So... I guess we're just gonna go back up and see if there isn't any, like, maybe I have some zinc stored away that I just missed. I don't think I do, but I'm a little desperate at the moment for zinc. It's all I need to make any progress. And I know I can automate zinc later, but it's gonna take me a long time to get there. And I am not at that point just yet. Okay. Oh, I just missed zinc. That's my little water spout that goes up to the surface. It was right here. Oh, and it's a larger, and there's gold. Okay. I feel like the Minecraft gods are telling me something, but I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna try and figure that out later. Okay, we have the zinc. Now let's clear our inventory a little bit and then see what we can do. And there's a little bit of lag. That's kind of annoying, but oh well. Okay, so next thing we need to do is actually make the seared smelter. And I think we should have everything we need to make this, except we don't have the seared bricks in our inventory. Did I just put those away? I did. I also didn't make nearly as many as I thought. I still need to make one more. Oh, great. Need 4 seared bricks. And to do that, I'm gonna need to make some more grout, which means I'm gonna have to... Oh, great. Yep, this means I'm gonna need more gravel, zinc, and andesite to make more grout. So I have the gravel, I have the zinc in my inventory, here's some of my andesite. Let's go mix this up. I feel like when I'm standing here holding the pistol that I'm like threatening this basin to produce stuff faster. It's a very weird feeling. And we should be able to just put it on the blast furnace and get this cooked up. I put gravel on the furnace. I meant to put the grout. I put gravel. Anyways. So the reason I'm splitting this into 3 stacks is it's just faster because each of these stacks is smaller, so this will cook it quicker. And it should cook all of them faster than if I just put a stack in a single spot. And that's actually the principle of one of our automations we'll be doing later down the line when we have more stuff. So I have the seared bricks. Now I just need the rubber, which I think I put away. The tree sap. See, yep, tree sap right there. And how much do I need to make this again? Let me see. 4 and then just 1 tree sap. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna make it, come on. And that's our 4th. And do we need a 5th? I don't think we do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, we are good. Which means we can finally make this one little part that I've been missing. Let me make sure I have everything in my inventory. I think I do. Let's craft it. And there we go. And that is a huge deal. And I don't think you know fully how much of a big deal that is. And we can also craft this. Yes, okay. The seared casting table, which is another important thing we're going to need. So for using this, we're going to go ahead and set it outside because frankly, I don't want to use it inside and it's going to grow. So seared heater, seared melter, seared casting basin, and we'll put the seared casting table right here. And then we can take our funnels, which I believe we still have inside, and set those up on each side, and maybe even set up a fluid container so we can empty it out, since you can only use each casting thing one set at a time. We don't have the ability to use multiple. Oh, and it gives us a bunch of resources. How kind. And we can pick up the casting table and everything to get the free resources there. That's actually a really cool axe. So we'll pick these back up to get the rewards for the quests. There we go. There we go. And put them back. Then put a faucet and a faucet. And those are activated by redstone, but we'll set that up a bit later. This is a ingot sand cast, which is very much useful for what we have planned. So the reason that we need this stuff is this allows us to produce ores at a much higher rate. So I'm gonna run down into the mine and I'm gonna go grab myself some iron ingots, or rather iron ore, and when I come back up, we're going to smelt it. So it should increase the amount made by about 3 nuggets per ingot, or rather per single ore. So instead of making 9 nuggets per ore, we're making 12, which means that every 3 iron ore, we're producing an extra ore. So that's a multiplier of 1.33 times. So I'm gonna go grab some iron ore and I will be right back. Oh, would you look at that? More zinc that I missed. I'll grab you in a minute. Okay, so we are back. And I gathered myself 10 raw iron. So with 10 raw iron, if I am going to be using the smelter, then that should net me, and I'm totally doing this in my head and not with a calculator, that should give me roughly 13 actual iron ingots. Yeah, it should give me 13 iron ingots, and I think only 1 additional nugget. So let's see if this heater is sufficient. Yeah, okay, so it's gonna start warming up this raw iron, and it's gonna do 3 at a time. Now, we can obviously use lava because that's a lot more efficient, but I don't have my bucket on hand and I'm willing to wait. But while this is going, why don't you all just meander down to the description down below and see if you're subscribed. And if you're not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're enjoying the video, go ahead and hit a like as well. It helps. It helps the channel, and it's totally free to do both of those things. And if you have any ideas or suggestions, or maybe I'm just doing something totally wrong, go ahead and leave a comment, and I read every comment, and I even try to reply to the ones that I can reply to. So yeah, any engagement with this video helps a ton. And I'm honestly hoping to grow this channel because eventually I want this to be my full-time job. And it's a long ways away. But we hit 1,000 subscribers pretty quickly, and I'm sure we can hit 2,000 or even higher pretty fast if we work together on it. Anyways, I think this is done with the first batch, so we're going to add another batch, and we're going to go through and cook all of this and then use the casting basin to make an iron block and then just make the rest as ingots. So once that's done, I will see you guys and show you the results. Okay, so we have so far made 1 iron block and 1 ingot. Now, if we were using the method back here, that's all we would get. 9 iron ingots and then a 10th iron ingot. But as you can see, there's still plenty of seared metal in there, and it says there's 3 more ingots and 3 more nuggets, which adds up to just about what we were guessing before. Now, the way I'm interacting with this, I just right-click these and it turns it on, but you can also automate the process. It's not too difficult. And to make more of the little sand cast that I was using, you literally just put sand in a tinker's table and it makes the sand pattern cast, and then you can put an item in that and turn it into the appropriate cast. So we have this, we can turn it into blank sand casts, and then I believe to actually convert those into something, we can double check. Yeah, we just put a shaped item in the basin and it makes it. So I can go ahead and withdraw the rest of this, which I think it's 1 ingot, and then it will be 3 of the little things. So we cast like that, 3 of the little nuggets, and we cast like that, and there we go, that's done. And then we can grab a nugget like that, create the cast, and it's going to do that, see? And we can make another one. Easy as that. And the last one. And that's all of our capacity. So that is going to increase our ore output, though it is a bit slow without automation, but we can add automation to it by hooking up hoppers or anything similar, or even conveyor belts, which for the conveyor belts, we are going to need to move a little bit over into rubber. We have 1 rubber. The way we get rubber is literally just mixing tree sap directly. So let's just go ahead and mix up the rest of our tree sap, because I'm not going to be proceeding with this much more beyond what we've already done. This is a huge step forward in what we've been wanting. Now, I will want to make some more of the seared stone, which I should be able to much more effectively produce grout later on. We'll go and withdraw that. That's our 14 rubber. That gives us a quest completion. Gives us, oh, some dried kelp. And one of the first things we're going to want to make is some goggles, because they're going to let us see the world a little differently when we're observing create constructs. So let's just grab our glass, which, yeah, okay, I was worried I didn't have any glass that wasn't already turned into something else. So let's see. Needs a golden sheet. Look at that. Exactly what we need. And the last item is just a little bit of rubber. So, engineer's goggles. There we go. And we can go ahead and put these on in the face trinket. There we go. So now we're wearing our engineer's goggles, and they look a little weird with the iron helmet, but I think I look pretty good with them on without the helmet. But I do need the helmet because arrows and bullets from skeletons with guns do tend to hurt. But this lets us see things a little differently. So we can come over here and we can actually start looking at stuff so we can see the stress units that any individual item has, as well as how much is being produced if we are able to get up inside of there. Hold on. Yeah, so these are producing 160 SU or stress units at the current speed, and all of these are using considerably less than that. So we have plenty of additional room. So this is actually probably using the most. And we can use a stressometer. You ponder it. It displays the stress currently attached to a network. So we can connect this. Let's just hop it onto here real quick. So we're at 71% capacity for our stress network, which is good. It's not great, but it definitely could be a lot worse. And we'll be using stressometers pretty frequently later as we start to get into the much more complicated machinery. But what I want to do before this day is done is I want to get into some of the automation. And the way I'm going to do that is by making mechanical belts, which require dried kelp, which I will need to get a lot of from the ocean, which is a little bit far away, but we can definitely go out there on our little boat come the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and sleep, and then we are heading out to grab kelp, and I'll need to put my oars away first. So I'll see you all in just a moment. Okay, we are setting sail on the high seas, and by the high seas I mean a river. And, well, I'm not very good at driving backwards, so let's head out to the ocean and gather ourselves some kelp. Should only take me a few moments, but once I find a good spot, I'll see you guys there. Oh, and there's a little bunny over there, adorable. So, I found some of the kelp that I need, it's all just below me, and we'll be gathering that in a second, but I also found guardians, apparently, and oil from Ad Astra, which we will need a lot of, but I'm more concerned about the swarm of guardians spawning over there. I don't see on the mini-map their structure. Ah, well, there it is. That would be okay. So, well, we know where a guardian temple is, and we can deal with that when we're a bit more well-equipped. But for now, it's time for kelp. Alright, so we definitely got a couple stacks, and there's still a few pieces floating out there, but I'm not too worried about it. We're going to go ahead and head back and start turning this kelp into something useful and putting it to work. And the way we're going to do that is actually by using that little neat automation trick that I already set up with the lava, but replacing it with some fire, which allows us to quickly smoke things such as kelp. With the downside, of course, being I have to repeatedly light the fire because we don't have anything like netherrack, which burns permanently, though I may be able to do it with a campfire. Definitely something I need to test. Alright, so the instructions say I should be able to use a campfire to do this, but we're definitely going to find out here in just a second. I'm going to pick up the lava, place down a campfire, and we're going to see what happens. So pick up the lava, campfire down. It says bonfire is lit. So let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3. It looks like it's working, but we're going to see if it turns into dried kelp. Wow, okay, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. I definitely should have started with less than just 3 stacks of 64, but it did work exactly as intended. So I can probably set up multiple rows of these that use different things like the campfire, a lava, and some water for different purposes. So now that we have these, we can actually combine these with some of our rubber that we made earlier, and we can start making conveyor belts. The conveyor belts are going to be absolutely vital in setting up our automation in the future. So that, and I know we already had some of the things needed. How's this made again? Oh, it's very specific. And we made 4 mechanical belts, and we get 3 more for completing the recipe. And we'll also have to make some andesite funnels with our andesite, which we'll need to make more andesite a little bit later. There we go. And it gives us depots and andesite funnels, and that is a step forward in automation. And this gives us a little info about the automation. There's either full automation or partial automation, which we're gonna want to aim for full automation. So what we wanna do is get to washing sand and also automating zinc using red sand, which we would have to go and find. And iron can be automated by just occasionally washing gravel. Either of those are options, and this is just telling us the possibilities of automation, such as food sources and other things can all be just automatically made. Now, 2 things that we need are, of course, super glue and portable storage interfaces to automate our farms completely, and with those we can start automating our food input as well as even our tree farms, because tree farms in vanilla are really painful to automate. So I definitely want to do that in Create. We've taken steps in the right direction, and we have the initials for our automation. Our processes are a little bit faster and more efficient than what they were before, but I need to go out and gather a bunch of sand, and I'm not going to bore you guys with those details. So we're going to call it here for this episode, and in the next one, we're hopefully going to get a little bit farther in our quest book and start moving down the route of fluid control and start setting up different tanks for storing things that we smelt here, and hopefully start producing some things that are a bit more valuable, and maybe even make ourselves a whole little diving suit so we can go swimming down below without running the risk of, you know, immediately drowning. But we'll be saving all of that for the future, and until then, bye-bye.